Good morning, Cherif. Thanks for joining me from Cancun and beautiful Cancun. Thanks for making the time. I know you're super busy. Cherif, I know you're coming out to my meetup in October. Tell us a little bit about yourself. A lot for the folks that don't know about Cherif Medawar, please give us a little bit about your background.
Thank you. I'm really a real estate investor, an educator, and a real estate hedge fund manager. It's pretty simple, really.
Awesome, awesome. And Cherif, tell us a little bit about your area of focus. I know you do a lot of commercial deals in Texas and Florida, but tell us a little bit about the kinds of commercial deals that you've done in the past that you're currently doing.
Well, my area of focus is mainly California, specifically the Bay Area, but I also do specific deals anywhere in the country, including Puerto Rico. I like to focus a lot on retail, single tenant retail.
Got it. Excellent. And that's an area that's not covered very often. So, Cherif, I've known you for quite some time now, and we've met a couple of times, and I know that I consider you a teacher. I consider you a teacher that's also doing things. Like you're not just a guru that's just trying to sell books. You're actually doing deals. So tell us a little bit about the kinds of deals you're doing, the kinds of joint ventures you're doing. I know you've got a big portfolio of projects that you've done recently, including Puerto Rico. But tell us a little bit about the other, what are you working on right now?
Okay, so I usually invite people to join me either as passive investors in my real estate fund, or they can just come in and participate in the deals as active investors instead of passive investors that receive just a paycheck. I like active investors, and I train these people to actually find specific commercial deals for me. They package them, and they use my knowledge, my contacts, my capital, and my resources to be able to make a lot of money with me. And I can even go in more specifics on the joint venture partnerships that I do. Do you want me to go into it?
Absolutely, please.
Okay, great. So, I have many programs. I teach on commercial real estate, how to become a syndicator, etc. But my favorite is the one where I have the students focus on this. It's really very simple. You focus, I'm going to say, if it's you, Bobby, okay, I'm going to say focus on finding a single tenant building. Single tenant building is a standalone commercial building that has like a Starbucks that could go in, or a Jack in the Box, but it's vacant.
Got it.
So when you find these all over, okay, especially from San Jose, San Francisco, it's all over, all right?
Yep.
You contact the broker listing the property and get it under contract. Now, there is no risk in getting the property under contract because you have about 45 days for inspections. And if it doesn't pass your inspection, you can walk away.
Got it.
The key thing is, I tell people how to talk to the broker, how to show my proof of funds. They use the name of my fund. My fund is MIXIF. We transacted over $100 million in the past 10 years in the Bay Area successfully. So amazing. Just showing the proof of that is awesome. Yep. Then once you have the deal under contract, you follow the process of contacting national tenants that need locations. So instead of spending time on the inspection, you spend some time smiling and dialing and calling the tenants. I even tell you the script that you have to tell the tenants to attract them to that location. These tenants want to grow anyway, and they don't really like to be in big malls anymore. They like to be in a standalone building where they can control the marketing and traffic. So once you get a tenant interested, there is an LOI that we write. LOI, letter of intent. And I work with you on conference calls with the tenants when they are lined up, etc. So I help in that process. Once there is a letter of intent where a big tenant like, I don't know, Subway, for instance, or Tommy Hilfiger or a jewelry company come in and say, we are interested in that location. Here is our letter of intent, and we want to be there for 10 or 15 years. What happens to the value of the property that was sitting vacant at this price is now way up than that price. That upside increase in value is based on the building becoming a productive asset. It's bringing income. So now you have a contract to buy the property for, say, $600,000, and you have a tenant coming in making it worth now $1 million. You have both. So what I train the students to do is I train them on finding the right property, talking to the brokers, using my proof of funds with millions in the bank for my fund, working the deal, getting it lined up with a tenant list. I give them even 4,000 tenants, etc. And I actually get them to assign it to me in escrow. And I buy it all cash. So the deal is done in, out within 60 days.
Amazing.
Once they do the assignment, the value that went from 600,000 to $1 million or $1.2 million, that 400,000 to 600,000 increase in value, I pay the student an assignment fee through escrow. We usually use Old Republic Title, etc. in San Francisco. I pay the students on that upside 10% to 25%. That means their check for making these steps happen is 40,000 to 60,000 if it's 10%. And if it's 25%, I usually pay the 25% if the tenant, we get them to sign 15 years. Then they get 25%, which is like 125, 150,000 assignment fee.
Amazing. Amazing.
So
and I know you've done this very successfully for a very long time.
Oh yeah, we've been doing it. The joint venture, I didn't think of it till later in life, really. I just thought of it a few years ago. We started doing it in many parts of the country and in the Bay Area and in Los Angeles even. We have a deal right now in Maryland that we're closing on, and it's enterprise rent-a-car coming in. The deal is under contract at 699,000. That thing is going to shoot to $1.2 million. So that's $500,000 upside increase. That's 50,000. The lady just finished the training, literally finished the training 3 weeks ago.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just,
amazing.
Some deals are faster than others.
But. Right. Yeah. And Cherif, what happens if the student is not able to find the tenant in the 45 days?
Okay, very good point. So they have the deal under contract for 45 days. There is no obligation to purchase because it's standard in the commercial agreement. So what happens if they can't find a tenant? Let's say no tenant is interested, no tenant is calling back, nothing is happening, they're not engaged with anybody. All they do is they cancel the actual contract, walk away. If they put 5,000, 10,000 in escrow, they get it fully refundable. It's really no downside and a huge upside.
Amazing. I'm very interested myself. And Cherif, I know you have, I know a little bit about your history, and you've done a lot of stuff in hotels, in commercial buildings, in large high-end fix and flips in the Bay Area. A lot of rental portfolio, but where are you investing your own capital right now?
So my capital is really mainly invested in two areas: San Francisco Bay Area high-end residential flips. That's a whole training we do separate. And I am the largest owner of historic properties in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. Old San Juan, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. It's the oldest historic zone under U.S. flag. It's third biggest cruise port in the Caribbean. Anybody took a cruise, they probably stopped in Old San Juan. So I own many buildings that I have about 30 commercial mixed-use buildings. And by the way, I've done the same strategies with my buildings. I took the building, I put Diamond International downstairs. Building went up $3 million in value. I put Tommy Hilfiger, Burberry, Sunglass Hut, Coach, Guess Jeans. I mean, I can go on and on. I have, so many of these. This is the fastest way for a person who really is ambitious and want to work a little bit using their brain, not instead of their legs running around like crazy, to go from maybe $1 million net worth to $50-60 million net worth in a very short period of time. Amazing. And if they're not worth $1 million to begin with, they can start with me because it requires practically no money. Use my money, use my resources, and let's grow together. What a great way for everyone to participate and for the greater good.
Awesome. So, Cherif, first of all, I want to thank you for making the time to come from Cancun and from Puerto Rico. I know you have a home in Santa Clara, but for coming to my event, October 15th and 16th, and I know you're going to do a full day on the Saturday, whatever that day is, the 20th or so, or the 19th. But all the details are going to be on my meetup. Cherif, I just want to thank you so much for for our friendship and for our working together. And I'm super excited about you coming in and sharing your wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience that you have in this space, and hands-on experience. So Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Bobby. I look forward to meeting your people and the gatherings and being in the Bay Area. I was really looking forward to this phone call and the conversation. Thank you so much, Bobby. Take care. Bye-bye.